Hey, my beautiful friend, I'm so grateful for the honor to co-create today's healing session with you. Our theme for today is root healing. Any unwillingness to be here now, you're not fully accepting where you're at, can we go ahead and show you all the lessons and then show you how to accept where you're at so that you can get to where you really want to be? Can we go ahead and do that now? Any other excuses, resistance, stories, impressions, patterns that you have created that are preventing you from fully desiring to be here now, to feel like you are alive, full of vitality? Can we go ahead and clear all those blocks now? And if for any reason you find yourself in those patterns, can we show you how to quickly recognize what's really happening and then gently show you how to move through those patterns back into feeling alive, feeling like you want to be here? Can we go ahead and do that now? A lot of times, especially those of us who are very sensitive, we go through periods of depression and feeling depressed, and what that often has to do is with that survival pattern. It's all about the root. So whatever we can do to activate, to allow ourselves to feel grounded, to feel nourished and loved in that part of the body, you better believe that the second, third, fourth, fifth, all the chakras, all parts of us are going to start to function and thrive and operate with more ease and grace. But when we are not deeply anchored in a healed state in our root, we're going to have challenges. And many of us can attest to that because we've all experienced that. Can we have the I am presence within each of us show us how to recognize where we already are thriving so that we can start to build off of that? So thriving is happening in your life somewhere or another, whether it's thriving physical health or thriving financial health or thriving gifts and talents. Maybe you're a very good listener, diplomatic, you're someone who helps people resolve things. Whatever it is, see where you're already thriving. And we're going to bring that awareness to you now so that you can start to recognize it more and more so that you can build off of it with ease and grace. If you want that, say yes. Another big part of the purpose of the root is, again, it's all about the material. So seeing the spiritual work that we're doing and see it anchored in the material. So actually seeing it manifest in the physical. And so if we are not fully balanced in the root, we may think we're doing all the work that we can to manifest abundance or relationships or feeling intimate and close with someone or whatever it is. But if we are not experiencing balance in the root, then we are not allowing ourselves to fully realize what we truly desire into this reality. It's not being realized fully. And a lot of times that happens because the mind tends to separate the material world and the spiritual world. It likes to separate these things. But really, the material is the extension of the spiritual. That's all that it is. So the more connected we are spiritually, and if we are balanced in the root, the more miracles we're going to experience in our physical, third dimensional, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional reality. So any beliefs, any patterns where we may have had that material things, the material world is not spiritual, we can call things like money or houses or clothes, we can now unite them. We don't need to separate them. So for any time we separated them, can we go ahead and show us all the lessons that we were meant to learn from all those timelines? And then can we do a massive trauma cleansing as well? If you want that, say yes. And a lot of it has to do with some religious patterns and programming that made us believe that we can't be spiritual and have material blessings at the same time. So for any time we still have lingering patterns from this lifetime or past lifetimes due to religious patterns and structures, can we go ahead and show us what was really happening that those were just structures. That's all that they were. They were limitations, and they served their purpose, whatever that purpose was, and now we can release them. If you want that, say yes. For any superstitions that you may have that was passed ancestrally or generationally or historically from your experience, that material that may have you believing that material world and spiritual world are not one, can we go ahead and release any of those superstitions that are holding those patterns for you now? Can we do that? Can we show your mind how to function, how to operate, how to thrive outside of those patterns, those situations that may have you thinking that, oh, this is a superstition, or oh, I have to do this and this in order to have this? Let's release all of that now. Can we have the I Am presence within each of us show us how to recognize the material world as an extension of the spiritual world, why that would help us to do, and show us what will happen when we start seeing the material world as an extension of the spiritual? If you want that, say yes. So because the material world has felt so unsafe at times, because obviously we see these conditions and patterns that show up and it doesn't feel safe. So any patterns of betrayal, patterns of being hurt, harmed, oppressed, oppressing ourselves, oppressing others, control, ego, all of those things that we felt unsafe, can we heal all of those patterns and show us what really was happening, and then show us that really was not a material pattern, that's not a material world, it's just a mental pattern that was showing up in the material world. So that way we don't have that feeling, oh, I don't feel safe in the material world. We can actually feel safe, we can embrace it, and still be more spiritual than ever. In fact, the fact that we are embracing the material and the spiritual, it allows that whole aspect of us to come through instead of just one side. Can we go ahead and do that now? Can we show you that it's safe for you to be here now, to live in this material world, to experience material blessings as an extension of spiritual blessings, show you how to recognize your spiritual blessings and material blessings, and what will happen when you do? If you want that, say yes. Can we download you with what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like in your experience, to embrace your reality, all of it, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, mental, and every other way? If you want that, say yes. And if for any reason you've moved out of this space, can we show you how to quickly recognize it when it's happening and gently realign back into that embrace of all this reality? Now, specifically, when it came to any time you may have been conditioned or taught that being sexual was wrong, it was dirty, it was not spiritual in any way. Anytime you were sexually, you did something that you weren't proud of, or you did something or you experienced something that felt not easy and graceful for you, can we go ahead and do a massive healing and clearing around all of those patterns and show you how to recognize that sexuality and the art of having sex actually allows you to heal, and that it can be a very spiritual and heart-opening reality and an experience for you. So if we're separating ourselves from that, then usually we're noticing that we're not as creative. We're not allowing ourselves to be here now. We're not allowing ourselves to be experiencing the fruit of our labor. So any blocks there, can we go ahead and heal that now? Can we show you how to embrace your sensuality, your sexuality, and download you with what that feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like once again? So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on grounding, and then we'll close it off with patience, because those are very important qualities to creating balance in our root. So now that we've done a lot of the foundational work and the healing and the cleansing and all of that and the trauma releasing, now we can ground. Now we can be in the now more, and so that we can start to materialize from the invisible realms into the visible. We can see the fruits of all that we are choosing to do every day through our spiritual practice and meditation and all of that. So can we have the I am presence within each of us give us the highest wisdom, knowledge, understanding of what grounding is, what it means, what it does, what it looks like, and make our perspective the same as the I am presence? If you want that, say yes. For any and all times you were unable to ground or felt ungrounded for long periods of time, for any reason, can we show you all the lessons that you were meant to learn from all those timelines, past, present, future, yesterday, today, tomorrow, on all levels, lifetimes, and languages? If you want that, say yes. The mind thinks that sometimes when we ground, we are not free. We are bound in some way. But the truth is, the spirit is never bound. We know that. It knows that. It knows that it can be here, there, and everywhere at the same time. That's because our spirit is multidimensional. Through grounding, we are actually allowing ourselves to be more free. But the mind, for some reason, thinks that when it grounds, it's limited. So any of those misconceptions, illusions, patterns that it may be carrying and holding, can we go ahead and release those now? When we ground, we anchor ourselves into the now. And when we're in the now, we're not living in the fear of the future. We're not living in the resentment of the past. We are living in the clear, pure, non-judgmental reality of now. We can observe, does this feel expansive or does it not? But we are here now. And when we're in the now, we realize that it's not that bad. It's probably really good. You have your breath, you have your health, you have the nature around you, you have water, food, whatever. So we are so blessed in the now. And when we are in the now, that's where we are at our most powerful. I always truly, I've said it, but I feel it and I believe it, because when we are in the now, we are not irrational. We are actually fully present, and grounding provides that for us. Can we clear any blocks, hesitations, excuses, fears, patterns, vows, obligations, oaths, contracts, preventing us from fully being grounded into this present moment? If you want that, say yes. Can we show the mind how much more freedom, how much more expansion and unlimitedness that it will experience when we are fully anchored and grounded? If you want that, say yes. And so now we're going to move back into the patient. So any time you were impatient, not fully able to be patient for any reason, and also thinking or having misconceptions that being patient means that you have to wait long periods of time, you have to sit on the sidelines, all those things, can we show you all the lessons and then heal all of those patterns once and for all? If you want that, say yes. Can we show you how to and why to recognize the importance of anchoring patience, of experiencing patience, and show you how to be patient, why, and what will happen when you do? Any pattern of forcing things to happen again, or being aggressive, or you're on a timeline. Can we show you where that's coming from and release you from those patterns and bring you back into the now, where you're feeling grounded, feeling balanced, and allowing yourself to feel patient with your experiences? Any other imbalances in the root? Can we go ahead and restore all of that? Can we allow the root to shine, to gleam, to be luminous with light, with love? Good. Let's call back all your energy from all time, space to this present moment, so you feel anchored, you feel here in the now, ready and fully alive, beaming, radiant, healthy, strong. This is who you are. This is what you are here to experience. So my beautiful friend, we went on a very powerful journey together today. Thank you so much. It has been such an honor to serve you and support you today. I'm sending you so much gratitude. I really hope you can feel that from the depths of my core. And I look forward to our next session. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.